Are there any other logistics? No. Okay, logistic space is closed.
No.
I feel glad about that. And we're here in a women's rage club introduction, and this is a radically responsible space. What I mean by this is that in this space, whatever you are, whatever you're thinking, and whatever you're feeling, and whatever is happening for you, it is your responsibility. Yes, it is your responsibility. And this is also go, Julia.
Which means you have the ability to respond. So it's not about you're on your own. It's like, bring it. Like, let's work with whatever is here. So that you get to shape the experience that gives you most possibility, that enables you and empowers you the most.
Yes, thank you. It is about, in this space, no one is a victim. It's about empowering you to respond to whatever and take charge of whatever you're thinking and feeling and being. And it's also a feeling space. And that's, I was born and raised, and I assume you were also born and raised in a culture where that gave a lot of importance to the physical body and to the mental body. And I learned very little about how to own and how to take care of my emotions, how to connect with my emotions and how to make them conscious. So the purpose of this space is to create a container where we can feel, and where we can, through feeling, make that information conscious and be responsible for it. Are there any questions about that? No.
Keep going.
Okay. I propose that we start by centering. And
will you say something more about women's rage? Just to give a bit more of the container, and then say, why would we center?
I invite you to say something about women's rage, will you?
Okay. So, I mean, yes, Introduction to Women's Rage Club is about re-accessing this power of women's anger in a culture that Maria just explained, that is the mainstream culture on the planet, is Western patriarchal culture, where it's about thinking and being rational and being in more of a masculine energy. And women have been angry about that for thousands of years. So women are angry. And Women's Rage Club is about getting the power of that anger back, because women that haven't learned to be consciously angry and use that power for conscious purposes play along with this unconscious anger in the patriarchal game. And that could be by beating themselves up, that could be by competing with other women, that could be by competing with men, that could be by doubting themselves, it could be by making other women small by gossiping about them. And there's so many ways of using anger in a destructive, poisonous way, even as women, because women are angry. And that's not good or bad, but that is such a resource for the power of changing the world. And that's what we're wanting to explore with you today, and then in the 4 weeks course of anger, conscious anger for women. So it's a training, and it's really about training. It's experiencing in your body, in your system, what else is possible with anger, with this resource that most of us have learned is a bad thing, and we'll explore that a bit more today. And one particular thing that is an application of conscious anger that is a way of using your resource of anger, this energy of focus, of clarity, is to be centered. And when you're centered, that means you are in your power, you are in your authority, and it stops the whole adaptation game that women have learned so well to be the nice girl, to be this good woman, to fit in, to be reasonable, to be in service for the world, and to be adaptive. And as soon as we adapt, as soon as you adapt, your center goes away and you're no longer connected to your energy and information. And so we're starting with being centered, and Maria has this fantastic centering exercise for us to explore that. So how does it go in you to be centered? And you probably have experienced that. I'm sure you have experienced that before, and maybe you have a modality that already works for you, and here's an experiment in trying this way of being centered and having your center. Go, Maria.
Thank you, Julia. I'm very glad you're here. I invite you to take a deep breath, to land in the chair where you are, in the space. And I invite you also to close your eyes. And to notice, where is your attention right now? Where is your attention? And maybe it's in my voice. Maybe it's somewhere in your physical body. Maybe it's in the future or with someone or in a different space. And I invite you to notice where it is and to start gathering all of these pieces of attention in a bubble the size of an orange in front of your face. All of your attention in front of your face. And now with your intention, move that energetic bubble to meet your physical center, which is 3 fingers under your belly button. And you can touch that place if it helps you. 3 fingers under your belly button and in the center of your body, in between your hips. So that your energetic center, your attention, and your physical center are connected. And now using your clicker, which is this, please declare a grounding cord from your physical center to the center of Gaia. And at the count of 3, please tell me the color of this grounding cord. 1, 2, 3. Mine is blue.
Red.
Purple.
Thank you. And now using your clicker again, please declare a personal bubble of space. And this is an energetic bubble that contains only your energy and your information. And you can feel it from the inside, how big or how small this bubble is right now. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you.
Thank you. And I want to add that this personal bubble of yours is for your energy and information, and it makes this distinction between your space that only you can inhabit and the outside space that is with other people. And that means taking responsibility for that means you're the only person that can inhabit that particular space. No one else can. And you can make your bubble even so close to your skin that no one else can even enter your personal space. Because there where your skin ends, that is where no one else can be there. I actually physically take up that space and no one else can be in that exact space, right? And it's the same for you. So you can inhabit that and refuse to enmesh your energy so that you can stay with the wisdom of your information. And that is what the bubble does. And you can push it a bit out so that you have more space and more space to breathe and to inhabit that space, like the queen that you are, the warrioress that you are. And you will have noticed that you do that with the declaration that you just did. You declared, this is my bubble. You declared, this is my grounding cord. And with your intention and determination, you put your center of attention onto your physical center. And all of that are already applications of conscious anger.
Thank you, Dina.
Yes.
I want to hear from you, and I invite a check-in from all of you, saying your name and what is your relationship. How are you? Your name and what is your relationship with your anger right now? Because for some reason or for some, you are here in this space. So I want to know how are you relating to your anger right now?
And will you add just briefly where you are on the world? Because I sense we're all over. So your name, where you are, what's your relationship with anger? Do you want this to go in a particular order, Maria, or just pop up popcorn?
Popcorn.
Hi, I'm Natasha. I'm in Guadalajara, Mexico. And my relation with anger, it's like I know she is there. I know I like her, and I know how it feels on my body when I get at some level of anger. But I want to to know her better and to notice her before it gets too high. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for going first.
Hi,
Go, Pauline.
thank you. I'm Pauline, and I'm from Belgium originally, but I live in Costa Rica. And my relationship with anger is growing. Like I'm learning to connect more in this distinction of experiencing it and giving it space. But I know that I haven't even really begun to tap into the power, because there was a lot of anger growing up, and I use it to hurt myself, and still do to this day in different ways, subtle ways. And I know that I can feel that as I explore deeper, that there is a great power there for me to connect to and use it consciously. So right now it just feels like there is an untapped connection that I'm looking to deepen into with anger.
Thank you.
I will add also, yeah, please, may I? I will add that I think I'm afraid of my anger because it's been building for so long. And yeah, there's a fear there of fully allowing her to really explode. Yeah. Like I get choked up just saying that.
Thank you, Pauline.
Like I want to cry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
So that would be also, yeah, go.
go.
That would be also a space here to just let that be here, Pauline. If you want to cry, let it be here. You don't have to hold it back. And I get, we're still warming up, but this is really a space to feel that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you
just
for feeling.
got frustrated and angry with my daughter before I came on here, and then I blame her and I make her wrong, and she feels that and says it because we've raised her to be self-expressed on all levels, and then it makes me sad that I'm not managing responsibly my anger.
Yeah.
And it just, yeah, I'm just creating low drama with her and my husband who's not here. Yeah, and so there's a lot of that going on, and it's gotten better through the work, but I do feel it brings me a lot of sadness that she has to deal with it.
Thank you, Pauline. Thank you for being vulnerable.
Thank you. And it's in a way, I don't mean that, I mean that in the best way possible. I'm glad for your tears because they're really the fuel for changing it. Like the sadness has so much value that then this is the fuel for your transformation journey. And I really get how it is for the next generation. So thank you for your tears.
Victoria, do you want to share? Go.
Just want to say I really get how the love of mothers is going to change the world.
Mm.
Yeah. So I invite you to just let it come and be with it, and we'll just keep checking in, and you can still feel. You don't have to stop it. So Maria, you had an impulse to
Yes,
invite Victoria?
yes, to
Oh.
check if Victoria wants to check in.
Can you ask her to unmute? Unmute? Do you know how to do that?
Sending an invitation to, yes, okay. I still cannot hear.
We cannot hear you, Victoria. Maybe because of the headphones or something. Technology. Yeah, and in a way, this is a practice run to see how we can make it smoother in the 4 weeks series, the first time that we're doing this with a translation. Yes, now there's sound.
Yes.
Go,
Ahora
Victoria.
sí, ¿ya me escuchan?
Sí.
Sí.
Yes, sí.
Ok.
Everyone hear her.
Bueno, el motivo que me interesó platicar de este tema de la ira
The
es
reason I'm
precisamente,
interested in, te pido que hables y después yo traduzco y luego hablas y luego yo traduzco.
ok, entonces te doy espacio.
Eso, sí. The
Perfecto.
motive I'm interested in discussing about rage
Es porque tengo tiempo conteniendo la ira.
it's because I've been containing it for a while
Con la intención de no generar conflictos.
with the intention of not generating conflicts.
Pero sé que tengo que retomarla
But I know that
encauzándola.
I need to connect with it and channel it.
Es necesario para lograr de nueva cuenta, pues ser yo.
I needed to again become myself.
Espero de veras con ustedes sentir el apoyo o me enseñen algo nuevo para regresar.
And I really hope that with you to feel the support so that I can come back to myself.
It's all. Es todo, Ana. María, perdón.
That's it. Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you.
And where are you, Victoria? Where? ¿Dónde?
Ay, perdón, Victoria, México.
México.
México. Thank you. Gracias.
A ti.
Okay, now I will mute
My
you.
name,
Okay, sorry.
I'll go and my name is Julia, and I'm originally from Germany, and I live in New Zealand, and in the North Island of New Zealand. And my relationship of anger is continues to be an exploration. I've started with, I think my first expand the box training, where I first got in touch with my anger like 7.5 years ago, and I keep finding spaces in me where I'm trying to avoid it, or where I'm not very elegant with it, and where I'm using it against myself rather than using it for. And at the same time, I see so many spaces that I'm creating because I have my conscious anger. So I am using it for creation, and that is so powerful and so enlivening that I want, like, I am aware of the consciousness of anger, really like this huge resource in women especially, that will shift the world into a regenerative culture. And I'm passionate about that, and I want to explore that with you. How does it go? What is necessary for you to be able to access it? Because each journey is unique. Each woman's journey with her anger is unique. And it's the most rewarding thing for me to be in a group of women that have a yes for that, and where creative collaboration can start to happen, because we're no longer holding back this anger, and then the energy can flow. That's what I'm here for.
Thank you, Julia. I will go. My name is Maria, and my relationship with my anger, I used to be as a very young child, very, very angry, and just very explosive, a ball of rage. And I learned that it was wrong, and I learned to repress it. And I chose to take medication to repress it. And then I became for years just numb to it. And I thought I was not angry. For years, I thought I was someone who was not angry, and I did not feel angry. And then I discovered that what I was adapting. I was giving my center to authorities outside of me, and I was adapting. And I connected with possibility management about a year ago, and I started connecting with my anger and discovered that it's okay to be angry. And where I am now is that I'm learning to use my anger to make my fear, to connect with my fear, because right now sometimes I still mix fear and anger, and then I am not being able to use my anger or receive the information from my fear, and I mix them, and then it's like mixing gasoline with milk. I cannot do anything with either of them. And so where I am is using my anger to be conscious of my fear so that I can use both energies. And I celebrate that since a year ago, I see how I am creating so much more. And I feel like just this like fire of wanting to create, and also wanting to rage with people, because I see the transformational potential of anger as a force to change things and to create. That's me.
Thank you.
And I want to hear from Lise. Do you want to share, Lise?
Yeah, first, sorry for the coming in and coming out. It's annoying and raging for me, and I think also for others. I tried like last time because I changed something now, and I hope if I been kicked out another time, I'll just stay out. Yeah, so I'm Liz. I'm in Malinalco in Mexico, and to my anger, I did like a rage club for a short time, and it was really good. I noticed like I have anger, I work with it, but a lot of time I wait until it's so high that it's actually then just like an exploding, or I just stop it because I had the impression I can't control it, and I would like to use it in a daily on like a lower level, like that, because I know what my clarity is, and a lot of time I know what I want and I don't say it, or I don't know what I don't want, I don't say it, and then I get angry that people, or I get angry that I don't do it, or people don't respect what I don't say. So like using the anger to actually say out loud my clarity, so I don't have to get until the point where I have the impression that my anger is not anymore controlling. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Clemence, I want to hear from you also, if you want to check in.
Okay, I'm Clémence, and for a reason, when I active the microphone, the video stopped. So I'm sorry for that. I am living in Chiapas, Mexico, and this month I am working a lot in my rage, in my anger, because I am already making some emotional work for about a year and a half. And I discovered that I still have like kind of repressed my anger, and I was still pretty adaptive to my partner or in authority figures around me. And that was blocking my full potential and my transformation. So I decided this month to go full on and make a lot of work about rage And so when I seen this opportunity to translate, as I am also taking a rage club by myself with another woman, I decided to translate to have another experience and use my anger to put at service my translation for other women.
Thank you, Clemence.
Thank you. Will you also say something about, because it didn't happen in the logistics, but
yeah,
it's really more about that celebration that you could celebrate with anger?
Yes. So I am also celebrating that I am 3 months pregnant. And there is also a reason why I am working a lot in my emotional body to be ready to be a mom and create a new generation of children that will also be more conscious of their emotion and how to use it. And yeah, just a little logistics thing. I might have to go to toilet because of my pregnancy. So if I just go for a short time and come back, don't worry. I just go to toilet and come back.
Thank you, Clemence. Glad you're taking a stand for the next generation also.
Yes. Okay.
Entonces, Vicky, yo expliqué que yo era Clemence, que vivo en Chiapas, México.
Okay. Yes, I want to add before going into. I want to add right now that for me, the purpose of this introduction and of this space is to open a window to how something else is possible, to how what I often see in myself and in the world is low drama, and to open a window so that I and we can experience that there's something else possible and how to get there, so that we can choose, so that we build awareness and we can choose going for low drama or not going for low drama. And is everyone familiar with the low drama triangle, or is someone not familiar with the low drama triangle?
I'm not familiar.
Okay. There is this dynamic that happens a lot, that and there is this triangle that was developed by a man called
Stefan Karpman.
Thank you.
From transactional analysis.
Thank you. And what this man discovered was that there's this dynamic that happens a lot internally in ourselves and externally and in international politics, like in bigger and or smaller and bigger scale, in which there is a victim, a persecutor, and a savior. And it's a dynamic that happens when where I'm unconscious of my feelings and emotions. And so when I'm unconscious of my sadness, I become a victim. And what happens when I victimize myself, I getting the story of poor me. I'm sad and I'm not aware of why I'm sad, and someone rescue me because I'm waiting for someone to rescue me. And then there's another character, which is the savior, which is and the savior is driven by unconscious fear. And this creates that me as a savior, I'm afraid that you, victim, you're not okay, and I want to fix you. I want to make you okay. I will do the things for you. I will my unconscious fear is thrown at you, and I will save you. I will rescue you. Yes. And I'm okay, and you, poor victim, are not okay. And then there is the persecutor, which is driven by unconscious anger. And what the persecutor does is attack the victim. So as a persecutor, I'm okay and you, victim, are not okay, and I will destroy you, or I will change you, or I will fix you with my anger, because I throw my anger unconsciously at you, like you're the problem. And so this happens a lot, and this is called low drama. And it happens when we're not conscious of our feelings and emotions. And there is something else that happens when we
I just want to say, just to add, it's not just that it happens a lot. Actually, most people think that this is life. This is how life is. The low drama is actually not life. It's just what we think is life. So something else is possible. Go, Maria.
Yes, thank you. And the reason why this happens so much is because there is some sort of unconscious joy that keeps it going. There is a familiarity in each of us in saving or in rescuing or in victimizing. It's like familiar and comfortable. And it is like that because it's survival patterns that we learned when we were young, and it helped us survive. And the thing is, now we made it, we survived, we're adults, and we can shift into something else, something other than survival. So this is the invitation also for this journey of raging together, to get out of survival, to discover that there's something else possible. We can expand. We don't need to only survive. Are there any questions about this low drama? Okay. Yeah. So what my proposal right now is to explore this low drama happening in anger. So it's the role of the perpetrator. And my proposal is that we go into breakout rooms, into small rooms, and we and you let your perpetrator speak to the other person. And I propose that we do 2 different experiments. One is the perpetrator that happens inside of you. There's this voice that is constantly attacking yourself. That you let that perpetrator speak to the other woman as if she was you. Just to let it to get to know him or her. And the other woman just listens. And then we switch roles, and the other partner just let the internal perpetrator speak. And then the second experiment is that we let the voice of the external perpetrator out. So we have that going inside, but we also have this going outside of us. So maybe we blame modern culture, or we blame men, or I don't know, so that we let also that voice out, and then we switch roles. Is that clear? Yes.
When you say perpetrator, it's also persecutor, yeah?
Yes, persecutor.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to add that how unconscious anger shows up is through blaming, through beating yourself, could be like beating yourself or the other person up, but also speaking badly behind one's back is also a way of persecuting someone, not directly into their face. So and self-doubt, and there's many flavors you can explore. Just let yourself find out about that. And Lisa, you had a question?
Can you explain a bit more about the external perpetrator? I didn't really get it.
Yes, the external.
How about let's make a demonstration, Maria. Will you do the external perpetrator or persecutor with me? So I would be the listener now, and Maria is in the experimenter role.
Yes, I hate men because they're all children, and they need to grow up, and I'm sick of them because I cannot find men that are adults. I'm I hate men, and I hate all the women that are no, I'm not being authentic.
As we're doing this, I get that it would be probably more powerful if you spoke to you, like, and then I can be changing, you know, one moment I'm a man, next moment I'm your partner, next moment I'm a child, whatever, or next moment I'm the woman. You just keep saying you. I hate you because, or like, who do you think you are? That you're telling me things. Who do you these? Can you take one situation where you remember you've been unconscious angry recently, and you just make it so that I'm that person?
Yes. I can't stand you just stealing all my money, and who, like, I cannot take all your manipulation, and like, how can you be so horrible to lie to me, and to lie for all these years. And I think I hate you. I hate you for lying to me, and I hate you for keeping all the secrets. And I feel fear that this is not quite it. It is.
And that what you might notice is that there's some of it you might go like, yeah, you're right, you know, you're right. And that righteousness is part of the unconscious anger. This I'm right and you're wrong, and so it has this flavor of blaming and of resenting. Resentments are a form of unconscious anger because you're not actually saying, you're not negotiating and so on. So just let yourself do that. Yeah. Is that clearer for you, Lisa?
Okay,
cool.
Okay. I will make the breakout rooms.
And will you put Victoria with Natasha, maybe? Or with Clémence, so that...
I'm thinking...
Or with anybody, it doesn't really matter, I guess.
What I propose that, Clémence, that you be with Victoria. No, that doesn't work.
It doesn't really matter unless it's just not with me, because I don't speak Spanish.
Okay.
Otherwise, anybody.
I don't speak Spanish either, unfortunately.
Oh, you don't speak... Okay, Pauline also. Okay, anybody but me and Pauline. We're not speaking it yet. Could still happen, right?
Exactly. I'm learning.
You're learning, right?
I am learning.
Okay.
And so it's going to be 2 minutes each person for each round. So you'll have 8 minutes together in total.
Yes.
And will you write the time swap?
Yes.
Maria? Okay.
Mm. Bienvenidas de vuelta.
Voy al baño, aprovechando que se fueron.
Sí.
Sí, hago el mismo y regreso.
Welcome back. Lisa and Natasha went for a pee break.
So if you have water, I encourage you to drink water, and because the more we feel, the more our emotional body uses up our water resources. So drinking water is a big part of rage work, any emotional work, especially rage.
Are there any sharings, any discoveries from what just happened?
I discovered how much energy I put into projecting my thoughts and my energy onto others instead of circulating it into myself to heal myself, to heal my consciousness, to take radical responsibility and continue to fuel the work that I'm so passionate about. I spend so much energy having conversations in my head and projecting it to others, and not like sitting in the unresolved, like just swimming in the unresolved, instead of having a conversation with my partner who has this distinction as well, and just bringing things to a close, a completion, so that I can claim and own my own energy and continue to fuel it into what I'm passionate about and the change I'm making.
Yes, thank you for sharing, Pauline. It touches up.
Go, Maria.
Yes, that for me, a big part of this work is repurposing that energy, like consciously channeling that, so that it's goes into the purpose that I choose. Thank you for noticing that. And go, Lisa.
Yeah, I noticed with like anger, I'm still in the same thing that I've been like in the childhood or like teenager, and it's becoming less, but still this like hard competition and like with myself, like always hearing when I'm talking, hearing so much, like being on the side, hearing myself being like, you did it well, or you should have said more, you should have said less, you should have. And I, like you said, Pauline, I'm spending so much time looking at myself and saying, like, thinking what I could have said better, that I'm actually not like losing a lot of the moment and being angry then only at myself for doing that. It's like a circle. Oh, I did that again and I should not, and blah blah blah. But it's like the same mechanism at the end. So yeah, noticing it, and it's the first step, but still into it, and it's like annoying and enraging.
Thank you, Pauline. Anything from anyone else?
I notice I'm super angry. Like it was I notice I have a lot of anger that I need to take out, and I don't know how. And it's at the moment I feel it more at the outside, like more angry with the outside. I suppose I'm angry in the inside too, but I really felt the connection with the anger of the outside.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. I want to say that because I heard you say that, Natasha, is that that's where we're going, is that we don't have to get rid of the anger. Actually, we need that as a resource, and that's the beauty of it. That's the difference that this body of work makes, possibility management. It's not about catharsis, getting rid of it. It's about feeling it, and then it's like channeling it, as the word that Pauline said, like channeling it into your creation, your life force. This is your life force. Thank you for mentioning that. What I found I found this exercise extremely powerful for me, in that first to hear myself speak out loud how I speak with myself. But even more powerful was for me to hear Pauline speak, because I know the same. It's like my own voice speaking to me, and then being touched with my own sadness of, this is how I speak to myself. And that was it's really powerful to notice, and also to notice what I find also really exciting, because that there's so much clarity. Also, when I listen to the blaming, there is this beautiful clarity, and it's just wrapped up in the resentment and hate. And at the core is this steel clear clarity that could be used to change something. So I'm curious about that discovery of, there is this steel clear blade of a sword, and something happens that I and other women put around with this energy of hatred, resentment, you. At the core there is, boom, there's something clear. Yeah.
And Mans and Victoria, anything from you?
Yes. Sorry for the video situation. I noticed that it was way easier for me to make like the inner voice, the auto blaming, all what I am telling myself and persecuting myself. And it was way harder for me to find the outside targets, and how I do persecute someone else.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As I hear you, I'm with the question that it's something that I'm researching, and it's about what you said, Julia, of how it has this clarity and it's pointing at something that I care about. And what is the distinction between caring in low drama, like caring as a giving my center away, and caring as a taking a stand for something? And I'm curious of researching that, because I do a lot of mothering caring, of giving my center away. So I'm interested in researching that with you.
How do you research that with us now? What would be the next step to research that now?
How the distinction between caring in low drama and caring, taking a stand for something. My
Yes.
impulse is to activate anger.
Oh.
Activate conscious anger. And my invitation is for everyone to grab your towel. And actually, yeah, I invite you to stand up. Oops. Great. Does anyone not have a towel? No. Excellent. Okay. And so to activate conscious anger and to feel in our bodies how it's my anger, and it's an energy that I can raise or lower for no reason. It's just an energy that is mine and that I can raise or lower consciously. I invite you to do this that I call towel rage, and to start by grabbing the towel at the middle and to just start by twisting the towel slightly. And you might feel that you need some anger just to twist it a little bit. Do you feel that there's already like maybe 5% anger needed to twist the towel? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna consciously raise our level of anger by twisting the towel and by allowing the energy of anger to be in our bodies. And we're gonna go
And
first.
Really put your hands close to each other so you get that traction.
Yes.
That they're touching, that your hands are touching. Make sure your hands are touching, Victoria. Yeah. Close together. Yes. Great.
Yes. Thank you, Julia. And my invitation is to go together to 10% anger. And at 10% anger, to go to 10% anger, then to 20% anger, 30%, up to 50% anger. And it's an invitation. You don't have to go you don't have to anything in this space. And you don't have to go to 50% anger. You can stay wherever you want. And we can go up to 50 together.
So do not go higher than 50.
Yes, thank you.
That's the request.
Yes, thank you. And then we will come back to 0.
Will you give an example of the different stages, what they look like, so that women get an idea of what is 10, what is 20?
Yes. Yes, okay. So 10% anger. I propose that 10% anger. Now I'm in 10% anger. And so I feel energy, I feel warm energy going through my body, and I have my attention in my physical center, and not much is happening. I am here at 10% anger. At 20% anger, maybe there is, now I'm speaking, so it's not clear, but if I would not be speaking, there is maybe like a little bit of sound coming out, but not much. That would be 20% anger.
So it's just before your throat wants to growl and let the sound out, just before that.
That's
So
20.
heavy breathing and your body will be moving. Yeah, that's 20.
At 30% anger, there's definitely sound coming out. And it can be words, but it doesn't have to be words. It can be just sound coming out at 30% anger. And at 40% anger, there's definitely more sound coming out, and I can feel more energy going through my body. I can feel my body warm, and my energy circulating in all my body, and my voice is louder, and I feel my center. I feel my center, and I feel my grounding cord. And at 50% anger, at 50% anger, I feel a lot of energy, I feel my blood circulating, I feel a lot of energy, and I feel very warm. And my voice, I feel my voice higher, and I feel my center. And I'm gonna come back slowly to around 10%. And I'm gonna go all the way to 0%. And I sense that, Julia, you have something.
Yeah, something about the whole, like the maximum that you can feel angry is 100%. There's not more than 100%. And so 50% is about half of the total amount of anger that you can feel. And when we start feeling angry, 50% might feel to you like it's 100. It's a lot, 50%, when you start out consciously feeling it. So I invite you to just follow along, also looking at Maria and me, to gauge it and get a feel for how much percent it is that you're actually accessing. And you can't do anything wrong. It's an experiment. Find out, how does it go in your system? Okay.
And one possibility, thank you, Julia. One possibility, if you don't want to be loud in the space where you are, is to use a towel to muffle the sound. And so I can use my voice without disturbing the neighbors, for example. Okay, I invite everyone to notice where your center is and to bring it back to your physical center. And to declare again a grounding cord. Mine is yellow, and a personal bubble of space. And to remain with your eyes open for this whole experiment. Okay. Go. We start with just putting our hands in the middle, and we start just experimenting with 10% anger. And I invite you, yes, to keep your eyes open and to stay in connection. We can be in connection at 10% anger. Yes. Yes. And I invite you to come closer to the screen so that, if you can, so that we can be in connection. There's something powerful about being in connection with woman, all raging consciously. Yes. And Victoria, I invite you to twist the towel, to use use your body to twist the towel. Yes. Okay, and I invite you to go to 20% anger, so that maybe there's some sound, maybe there's almost sound coming out. Yes.
Maria, and skip the invite. We know it's an invitation. Just say 20%.
Thank you. 20% anger. Yes, go. Go. Yes, Pauline, go.
Yeah,
yes.
Start to move your shoulders.
Yes, go, Victoria. Yes, listen. You can go a bit higher. Yes, and I invite go 30% anger. Yeah,
Go. Yes.
go,
And let the
listen.
sounds
Yeah, let
out.
the sound come out. Yes, go.
And your
Yes,
body
Pauline.
move.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Let
And-
your face also move, Natasha.
Yes, 40% anger. Now there's definitely song coming. Yes,
No.
yes,
Go.
Eyes open. Yes. Yes, go, Lisa. Yes. Yes, yes. And 50% anger. 50%
No way.
anger. Go.
No.
Yes,
Not
go,
with me.
Victoria.
Yes.
Yes, go. Go, Natasha.
Go.
Yes, let
Yes,
the sound come out.
go.
Go, Lisa.
All the way to your feet.
Yes. Yes, go, Victoria. Keep your eyes open. Yes. Okay, and come. We come back slowly to 0%. Slowly. And keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open and please breathe in and out through your nose so that you let that energy circulate. That is your life energy.
With your intention, let that circulate in your bones without needing to know how it goes. Just intention in your bones.
And at your own rhythm, when you're ready, I invite you to sit again. And Paulina, I invite you to not shake it out, to keep that energy circulating in you. And if there's any feeling or emotion coming, to let it be in the space.
And you can let your, I notice my body wants to move. You can let your body move. And can you move it so that your anger moves with you? Yeah, so you don't have to shake it out, but you let that anger still move through you. You don't have to become rigid.
Thank you.
Yes, all the way into your fingernails. That's bone material, your teeth, toenails, all of that. Gives you structure, and that's what anger does. It's for the structure.
Yes, and I want to add that what you just shared, Julia, that the place where our anger belongs is our bones. To send that energy to our bones. It's what gives us presence, and what also like what has the capacity to hold, like the ribs can hold the rest of the emotions, the rest of the emotional body. If I have my anger, I can hold space for my other feelings. Is there anything from anyone?
I'm noticing how connected I feel to myself beyond the voices of self-hatred, and how much I can get done using this energy instead of wasting it on projecting it in low drama in my relationships, or especially at myself.
Thank you.
I noticed it's and the last time in the Rage Club also doing this exercise, I could go to 100 because I had like this, I'm talking to someone, or I could put words and there is like people like holding me, but being in this, and I can go to 20, 30, but being in this like between, like this is something that I don't know as a feeling. I have the impression like, or I have it low or I have it really high, and this in between, it's like it's something that could probably, when you work at it, like have it more often on this level. So yeah, it's cost me a bit like to reach this level, but enjoy this moment of being just in the anger and stopping all this what's could happen around and just being there.
Thank you.
Is anybody not okay with feeling whatever amount of anger you felt? So if you were not okay, will you raise your hand if you were not okay? And so who started being angry? Who started it? In you, like when you started, who started?
Truly, I don't get the question. Like
Who
who?
started your anger? Like, did you start your anger or did someone else make you angry? Like, who started it? Who chose to be angry?
In this exercise or in life?
Yeah,
Okay.
in this exercise. Yeah. Thank you for asking. Yeah, it wasn't clear.
I think I started, but I started because someone asked me to do the exercise. So I'm not sure of the answer.
Yeah, I mean, this is radical responsible space. So you started, even though someone asked you, you chose to start and you started, right?
Okay.
And so, yeah, and then when the time was up and Maria said, come back to zero, who went back to zero? Who chose to do that?
Myself, me.
You did, right? Yeah, you did. So to the amount of anger that you chose to go to, you were in charge. You went there consciously. You activated it. You went all the way to where you wanted to go, or you could go. And then you came back down. And that is how we're starting to navigate anger. And you did that. I didn't do that for you. Maria didn't do that for you. No one did that for you. You did that. So you're innately capable of that already. To the level that you went, you can do that. And that's pretty cool. I find this amazing. And I get, Lisa, that this, especially the in between, is something to learn to navigate. And I heard some of you mention that you have that you're familiar to suppress your anger or be in high intensity of anger. And there's a way of numbing anger, especially as women, because we've learned it's not okay. It's not okay. Don't be angry. Be the nice person. Be a nice girl. Yeah, be reasonable. All the things that I said earlier before. And you will have your own sentences. That's really precious to find out what are your sentences that block you. And so you numb yourself. You numb yourself to a certain percentage of anger, which is maybe 80% at the start, 70, 80%. It's quite high. So that you suppress it. It's like, no, I'm not angry. I'm not angry. No, it's okay. He does something that I don't like. Well, but no, it's okay. Well, don't be silly. Boop, boop, boop. And so you put it down, push it down until it reaches your threshold. And that is where the explosion happens. Because then it's already, if it's at 80% and all you can navigate is 50%, you can't handle it there. And it goes explosion. And for some women or people, it goes implosion, killing yourself basically internally. And that is the numbness bar. It's really valuable to find out at which level of percentage you are numb to your anger. And then the idea of Rage Club is to become less numb. So once you explode it, the natural reaction is like, oh my God, I did that. Shit, I need to be really more careful with my anger. And then you try to raise the numbness bar. What we do in Rage Club is we lower the numbness bar so that you can feel your anger when it is still little, up to 10%. 0 to 10% is where the big change happens, because you have a no, you say no, and then you doesn't have to build up to the resentment. It doesn't have to build up to 80%. Yeah, so the 0 to 10% is what you will need for most of the time in your life to navigate life. And then occasionally you'll get higher. You'll need more anger. But that is really for your everyday life, is the 0 to 10%. And to learn to use that at the risk that people won't like it. People don't like, it's very convenient that women don't say no. It's super convenient. The whole modern culture systems of hospitals, old people's care, kindergartens works on the fact that women cannot say no. So while women do all this groundbreaking work for society to function, they don't get paid enough to reflect that, and banks who are killing the planet take the cream of the money. And that's how the society works, because women don't use the 0 to 10% anger, especially women. So this might seem little, but it's huge. It's a huge implication for the world if you learn to lower your numbness bar. And that's what you've just done with this exercise, Towel Rage. You've started to lower your numbness bar to navigate, to feel, oh, this is, and the more you do that, the more you get a feel for, oh, this is my anger. Oh, I have a no. Oh, I have a yes. So it's really for your everyday life. It's not to exercise and then forget about it. It's so that you can bring that into your life.
Thank you, Julia. Yes. Lise, and
A question. Sorry. A question with hurting, not hurt yourself, not hurt others. I noticed with the last Rage Club also, like I hurt my voice really easily. Like last time we were on 200 and I couldn't speak 3 days. And this time we went to 50 and like in a small amount of time. And I'm already like, and I think there should be like a solution, like using another part of the voice, or using too much here, and you could use it like in the lower part of your body, like more on the belly. Like, is it a technique you can learn so you can actually rage, but without hurting, yeah, all the voice?
Yes. Maria, do you want to say something about that?
Yes, thank you for asking us. Yeah. My experience is that when I rate from higher up, when I'm using my voice from here, I hurt myself. And my personal experience is that then I'm mixing it with fear. And then it's higher, and I'm using my throat. And the more I use my voice from lower, the less I hurt my throat. And so I have the experiment. I have an experiment for you is to play with it, to use your voice and sense where it's coming from and where it's hurting you and where it's not hurting you.
Mhm.
Yeah, and to add to that is also, you might notice that I've noticed in myself, and I noticed that with others too, when you're angry, you might go like, ah, and what happens there is I'm pushing against my own throat, and that makes this ah. And then there's another way of going, ah, so I'm opening up, and then I'm not creating this contraction in my own throat. And at the same time, when you're starting out with anger, anger work is about reclaiming your voice. And so it's like a muscle that you haven't trained. And so getting a scratchy throat is not, I wouldn't consider that hurting yourself. And even though it might be a bit, uncomfortable or so, but it's you're using muscles that you haven't used in your life possibly, or since you learned not to be angry. And I notice the more anger work I do, the more my voice drops and becomes also, my voice actually changed over the last few years. It becomes fuller, it becomes deeper, and that's part of cleaning up the tubes in the voice, in the, whatever you call this, physically in these parts. So yes, experiment and also trust the process that your voice is readjusting and that it's part of the journey. And the more you do that, the less that will happen. It will adjust automatically.
Okay, thanks. It's helpful.
Thank you, Julia. I want to know if there's anything from you, Natasha or Victoria, about the rage, about the towel practice.
I noticed that I get angry when I can't open a bottle. Like I don't know, like I felt that I use anger energy when I want to open something and I can't. And it reminds me like that feeling of like, yeah, with doing this with the towel that I can't move or destroy it, just like scratching. And I start to sweat a lot. And I normally sweat a lot in my life, like more than normal people. Like I see how when I do exercise, people sweat different. And I ask myself right now if that has something to do with some repressed anger, maybe because I felt that heat inside. And that were my like thoughts, and it was interesting to call it, not to just feel it because something happened. I don't know. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anything from you, Victoria? It seemed like something was happening for you. Would you share with us what that was? In the rage towel rage. And Maria, can you request the unmute again?
Yes. Okay.
Audio.
Sí.
Ya. Bueno, la experiencia que ahora sí de este experimento
From this
fue muy interesante para mí.
It was very interesting for me.
Me agradó
I
el yo
like
sacar mi molestia, mi rabia.
to get out my anger.
Sin embargo, no pensé en nada, o sea, no en una situación.
And I didn't think of anything. I didn't think of a situation.
Me hizo pensar si entonces la tengo muy controlada.
It made me wonder if then that means that I have it very controlled.
Porque no había una situación en específico.
Because I wasn't thinking of a specific situation.
Fue exclusivamente rabia natural.
It was just natural rage.
Yeah. Whoa.
I feel I don't know in which language to speak now. Okay, I will speak in English. Yes.
Just want to check whether Victoria is. Have you finished, Victoria?
Oh, yes, thank you. Sí, terminaste, sí. Yeah, I want to share that I feel joy hearing that, because anger can feelings and emotions and anger can be without stories, because it's not happening from the mind. It's another body. So a pure anger can be without any story, just for no reason.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
It is without story. It's I'm angry, 50% angry for no reason, and so I feel joy that you experienced that.
And that is the distinction, Maria, that you wanted to bring about feelings and emotions.
Yes.
You get that?
Yes.
Will you say something about that?
Yes. Thank you for opening that door. Yeah, distinction that is useful for me is that what you experience right now, Victoria, is a feeling. It's the energy of anger that is rooted right now, that I decide to consciously activate, and that the distinction is that a feeling is an energy that lasts about 3 minutes, and it's rooted in the present. For example, I am angry because I'm sweating a little. I am glad because we're all here. I am sad because Elena arrived an hour later, and I'm afraid that there is not enough time for everything that I want to say. And so these are feelings that are happening right now, that are rooted in the now. And an emotion is a feeling that didn't get to be felt, that didn't get to the message did not arrive. And so what happens is that it gets like bottled up, it gets like knotted, and we carry it as an emotion. So feelings are the energies from the present, and emotions are feelings that the root is in the past. And yes, and it serves me, because if I know that if I feel a feeling, I can use it to navigate now. Like, okay, I feel angry because of this. I feel a no, I feel a yes. I'm afraid of this. It's giving me information. I feel glad about this. I feel sad about this. It's now. I can be present with that. And an emotion, it's I know that it's coming from the past, so it's not allowing me to be present. Has anyone been angry about something for more than 3 minutes? For a week? Or for a year? Yes. And so when I notice that I'm feeling something and it has been there for a very long time, It's an emotion. And what it is, it's a doorway to heal. It's a doorway for an emotional healing process. It's a doorway to go to the root of that feeling and to liberate the energy so that I'm not emotionally constantly afraid of men, for example.
Or afraid of my anger, even. That could be the fear of anger as an emotion, and then it blocks you from using your anger, and you can heal that so that you can be angry consciously.
Yes, and part of this journey is an invitation to heal, to heal those emotions with the purpose of being more and more present. Are there any?
And that is part of the journey of Rage Club. Yeah.
Yeah. Are there any questions about that distinction of feeling and emotion? No.
Maybe just to add that a real mess happens when I'm trying to navigate this very moment from an emotion. So if I'm trying to navigate my life with this unconscious anger, with emotional anger, because maybe in the background there's an emotional anger of men, and then I try to navigate my relationship with that anger, I create a mess, and it ends up in low drama, and it ends up in blaming, and it ends up in resentment. And if I stand there righteously and saying, but this is my anger, and then I'm trying to navigate my life with old patterns. So I'm actually relating to not even my partner as a man. I'm relating to maybe to my dad, or even further back, like to a man that's not even there in front of me. And then I'm trying to relate to now from the past, and it doesn't work. It creates huge messes. So it's really such a big, important distinction. I'm glad you brought it. It's a big distinction to unfold and experience also in Rage Club. Yeah.
For the clarity, Julia. And I see that we have 3 minutes left. Go.
Yeah, you go. You have the next piece.
I don't. I don't have the script. I see that we have 3 minutes left, and
is there any other question around anything? Like, do you need to know anything else about the Rage Club, or about anger, or about where we just went? Let's have a moment for any question.
Is this Saturday night the time 6 to 8? Is that's the time? It's not changing. There's no way to change it.
yes, that is
Okay,
it.
Yes, that is
That-
the time.
that time. Got
And-
it. Okay. Thank you.
Does that mean it doesn't work for you, the time, Pauline, or is it just difficult to organize? Or?
I'm gonna make it work because I feel like I very much want to be here. It's just not ideal for me, but I will make it work.
I feel glad about that.
Me too. Using your anger to make it work.
Yes.
And please let us know if you need any possibilities. We're possibility managers, so we can also support in that way.
Mm.
Thank you.
Okay. Does this start next Saturday
Yes.
and goes for 4 sessions?
Yes.
Are all rage clubs 4 sessions?
No. There's different modalities.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and online rage clubs are mostly 4 sessions or longer. So not less than 4. Yeah. And sometimes they have, like, what's popping up now is also more like a workshop day with a break in between, and then it's like 3 hours and a pause and 3 hours, which is also happening online.
And once you have taken a Rage Club, if you've done Expand the Box, can you do a Rage space holding training?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I love the question. Looks like there's a Rage Club space holder in the making.
Yeah, it's big. This really calls to me, this work.
I'm glad about them.
And I work with women in my work, and I really see this is such a huge piece. Yeah, it's big.
Yes.
It is 8, and I want to honor our time commitment. And I feel glad about us being here and raging together, and we will see each other next week.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Maria.
and if you have any
Thank you.
questions, just write it in the chat or reach out to us. Thank you for being here.
Thank you,
in your corner
everyone.
of the world.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.